Hi, I'm Macy,
And I'm Julie.
and welcome to Premium Perspectives, the podcast where we talk about insurance like it is the most exciting thing in the world.
And it's probably not the most exciting, but that's why we're here.
Yep, insurance runs the world, and we're here to talk about it.
That's right.
Yep. So, Julie, tell me about your week. What's going on at CAA, in our accounting department?
Yeah. So, as y'all all know, I've been really busy. It's profit share time, and that's always an exciting time. And we paid out profit share a couple weeks ago, and then we've got another batch going out the end of the month. I know we have some agents who y'all close your year end in April, like March 31st, April 1st. So we want to make sure you have all your profit share for 2024 before that happens. So that's going out the end of the month. You'll see it direct deposited. What else? Let me think.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a reason to join a network, that's one of them.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, profit share, pooling our money like that is really definitely a bonus. Okay, so what's going on with you?
Yes, so we've got some new vendors and carriers, specifically Ideal Ag and Marine. You can now access them through CAAIS.
Okay.
So yeah, very excited about that. We had training for it last week. Some of you were probably there, and it was just cool to see the intricacies of agriculture and how like it has to be written very specifically in some cases. Being from a small town in Texas, I definitely
Yeah.
not that I've ever dealt directly with that, but I have seen it. So that
Yeah.
was interesting to hear
You've
about.
never had agriculture?
Not quite.
Sorry, I pick on her.
My grandma has chickens. But no, I remember actually wanting to raise a pig for the stock show
Yeah.
because all my friends were raising pigs.
I'm going to raise a pig now.
No, I mean, my dad was like, Macy, you're not going to take care of the pig. Like, there's no way. Look at you. So, I mean, yeah.
You're not going to take it. You
no.
take care of Coco. You do a good job.
I do take care.
You're taking care of pig. I have faith in you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't have faith in you to do that. But yes, so we have Ideal Ag and Marine, and then also a new vendor that is very exciting is Limit AI. So Limit is specific AI for insurance. So yeah, very cool. And now that they're a CAA vendor, some of our agents already work with Limit, but we have preferred pricing. So if you go to our website under partnered vendors and check out Limit AI, you can find the special pricing and then also book a demo, just see how it works. It's very similar to obviously ChatGPT, but very insurance
focused towards insurance. Yeah. And talk about a time saver. Very efficient.
Yes, very efficient. So they're our newest vendor.
Yeah.
Plus got some more, but I won't talk your ear off about it. So.
Yeah, I think that's great. So do we want to get into this week's episode and what we're talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
So this week we're keeping it pretty just lighthearted. Before we get into a lot more of our guests who are all official and have a lot of things.
More serious stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of things to talk about. So today we're going to be talking about some of the craziest claims that we've heard of, we've seen, and then also some crazy coverages. Of course, there are a ton of niche coverages. That's why brokers exist for E&S, but we're going to have a guest on from a broker incoming. So we are going to just talk about some that we found that are like off the wall crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Julie's going to start with something you've probably heard about in the news lately. It's crazy.
Yeah, this is all over the news right now. So I have a feeling y'all probably heard about this. So there was a delivery driver, and tell me again, where was he working from?
Postmates.
Postmates. Okay, I couldn't remember if it was DoorDash or Postmates, but this happened in California. Delivery driver went through the drive-through at Starbucks, and the girl at Starbucks passed him the tray full of cups. I think there was like 3 or 4 drinks. And he's claiming that the cups were not seated properly and that the lid was not on the, of course, it's about hot tea, not coffee, but tea. But the lid was not on the tea properly. And when she passed it to him through the window, he kind of lost balance of the tray and it spilled into his lap area. And that caused major burn damages. They had to take him away from the drive-through in an ambulance. And this happened.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think this happened in like 2020.
2020.
So we're going on 5 years now, and it's just now getting settled. But he had to be taken away in an ambulance. He's got major disfigurements. He's got lifelong issues and problems. It changed his life completely because of the burns. So he was awarded $50 million. It's been all the news things that I've seen about it. It's been back and forth. Some people are saying yes, he deserved it, not deserved to be hurt, but deserved the settlement. And then other people saying, well, he should have taken more responsibility because he had the drinks in his hand. Whatever. It goes back and forth. I personally think that Starbucks drinks are too hot.
They're very hot.
They're very hot. And I'm sure that it's because if they're to go, they don't want them to cool down too quickly, or if you add milk or whatever to them, they're really, really hot. But Starbucks is saying that even though they settled and they are awarded this man $50 million, Starbucks still is not taking full responsibility for this. They're putting some of it on him. But I don't know. I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, it would be interesting because it was a negligence lawsuit.
Yeah.
So, I remember being in business law and learning about all the ins and outs of
Right.
negligence, and I'm wondering because yes, she handed it to it, but was it already in his hand when
It was.
spilled?
Yeah, if
Okay,
you see
then,
the video, it was in his hand when it spilled.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, what really is the line there?
I know.
But also, was it her fault because it wasn't properly placed in the thing?
Right. Right.
It's that's hard.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, you don't want anybody to get permanently disfigured or have a lifelong issue, regardless of the situation. But
No.
I don't know. I'm definitely not a claims adjuster or a lawyer, so
Yes.
But
yeah. So I looked more into it because I was curious, who insures Starbucks? And then also we were curious about Postmates because he was a Postmates celebrity driver. How do they insure their risks for their drivers?
Yeah.
That I'm not sure of, but I did find out that Starbucks is insured by Olympic Casualty, which they created their own captive agency to insure their risks. However, and there's a lot of big companies that do that.
Ask who insures Starbucks. They insure themselves.
Okay.
Yes.
And so a lot of big companies will do that, and basically Washington, the insurance commissioner was like, no. They got into it because they paid themselves $630 million from their agency.
Yeah.
And apparently that happened with Microsoft too, that the Washington insurance commissioner came for that. And and they have pretty antiquated laws in Washington. They're one of the few remaining states with old insurance laws, and they don't allow captive agreements. So I know we have a lot of agents who are into insurance litigation, and Ben Patterson's a big advocate. And it is important because all the insurance fraud out there. But yeah, they created their own, and
that's interesting.
That's how they insure their risk.
Yeah, so that's a big deal right now. Is this $50 million lawsuit? Yeah, that Starbucks is having to pay.
Yeah.
And this has happened before. I mean, we've all heard about the McDonald's situation, and there's been these claims in the past, but I think right now this is probably one of the most severe because of how badly injured he was.
Yeah. Well, that being said, since you and Gary owned a captive agency, did y'all run into anything major like that?
Yeah. So I told her this story a while ago. I asked Gary last night as I was researching some of this, and asked him about, hey, did we have any really weird claims that you could think of when we had our Allstate office? And of course, he thought I said clams, not claims. So he went down a whole spiel talking about clams, and I'm like, forget it. This is not. This is not what I asked you. But anyway, of course, one of the biggest things that comes to mind was we owned our agency during Hurricane Rita. And Hurricane Rita happened a few months after Hurricane Katrina, which was definitely one of the worst hurricanes that I've ever seen in my lifetime was Hurricane Katrina. But Hurricane Rita was also pretty bad for the Southeast Texas area. And I don't know the exact number that Allstate had to pay out. I mean, all carriers had to pay out for Hurricane Rita, but just with Allstate itself, I'm sure that it was over billions of dollars that they had to pay out because the claims were just huge. I mean, our own home was damaged. Our office was damaged, our home was damaged, so there was a lot of claims for that. In fact, when I was looking into this, Hurricane Katrina was actually, if you pull up some of the most expensive claims in U.S. history, Hurricane Katrina is actually number 3 on the list. Earlier, Macy and I were talking, and she brought up the recent fires, and of course that hasn't really come up yet because I guess they're still evaluating and paying out claims. And
it'll be so interesting to see where it stacks up in that list because of all the $1 million homes.
Yeah.
The
Maui fire.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of fires that
area.
Yeah. Haven't been posted yet because I'm sure it's not settled. Maui, I don't know if it'll ever be settled, but Hurricane Katrina paid out over $125 billion for claims. And it was just from everything to people's homes, properties, loss of income, businesses, environmental hazards, things like that that occurred. It was just horrendous. So that's actually one of the most expensive claims that happened in the US.
You know what's crazy is like that 125 billion, that's like chump change for Elon Musk.
Oh, I know, right?
Which is not related at all.
I know, but
you can't help but think of that, like that much amount of money, and like he buys.
He could pay for all the claims in Maui and never blink an eye. That's how much money that man has. It's crazy. Another one that I thought was really interesting, and I think it's because I lived on the Gulf Coast. In 2010 was the Deepwater Horizon oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of America now, if y'all want to call it that. I mean, I don't know. Is it officially changed?
It is.
I hated to say Gulf of Mexico if it's actually Gulf of America. I don't know.
No,
It is. It's Gulf of America. Okay, sorry. Let me correct that. But it was the largest marine oil spill in history, like in history, and it cost over 65 billion, and that was just for environmental damages, cleanup costs, lawsuits, and then the fines that were targeted for them. That oil spill.
Yeah.
I know. I always
But
think
I
about
think
the
Dawn made a lot of money with their commercials.
I think they probably did in cleaning up all the ducks.
Oh, the ducks with the oil on them.
Yeah. This is just me and Macy and how we talk. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, but I do worry about like the marine life and things like that, you know,
and they're probably still facing effects of that.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. Yeah. So some of the craziest claims, I guess. Those were the most expensive. Now we're gonna have some fun and talk about crazy. And I'm sure that this is the first one on my list, and I'm sure that everyone has probably heard about this. A family goes on vacation. Sounds like a really bad joke. A family goes on vacation, and while they're gone, someone breaks into their house. And this is real, y'all. This is a real claim. This happened. Guy breaks into their house, burglarizes their home, tries to leave through like the door that goes into their garage. And when he went out into the garage, door shuts, locks. He cannot get back into the house. He cannot leave the garage. The garage doors are completely locked where he cannot open them. So he's stuck inside the garage. He lives a week in their garage eating dog food and soda.
My dog doesn't even eat her dog food.
I know. He literally ate dog food and soda for a week. And so when the family finally get back home, open their garage door, this guy takes off. They don't know who he is. He takes off. They realize they've been burglarized. He, in turn, files a claim on their homeowner's insurance for mental anguish for being locked in their garage for a week. And he freaking wins. He is awarded $1 million for mental anguish being stuck in their garage for a week.
That's crazy.
I don't know what insurance company this is. I would really love to know what carrier paid this guy $1 million. But to me, that just sounds insane. If I was the homeowner, I would be fighting it. But I don't know. Maybe the carrier was just like, we're just going to pay him and get rid of him. And then hopefully they arrested him because he vandalized and stole stuff from their house. But I don't know. You've got what?
Yes. So some crazy coverages. This one, and these date back like into like the 1930s, but this one is from 1960. This world famous food critic. He's a British food critic. He like wrote and published this guide to British eateries. Because his endorsement was so important, like could make or break a restaurant. He insured his taste buds for $400,000.
Huh.
Which is,
I would be a food critic.
Yeah.
I mean, really, I do.
You should. You're never going to retire from here.
I know. I could be both. I could do accounting and be a food critic.
Yes.
$400,000.
Yeah, $400,000. I mean, I guess you could burn them.
That was probably a lot of money back then.
Yes, that's what I thought too.
Yeah.
Another one, this 13-year-old boy, he won the 1932 World Yo-Yo Championships in London. And funny how these are all British. I know,
right?
why.
Do Americans not insure theirs?
I don't know. So yeah, he even taught the Prince of Wales how to yo-yo.
Okay.
So he was very valuable to the company, Cheerio Yo-Yo Company of Canada. It sounds made up. It's not. I saw a picture of him in his insured hand at the time. But yeah. So they insured his hands for 150 grand, which again is a lot of money for 1992.
And a 13-year-old.
Yes.
That's a lot of money.
Like,
yeah, that's a lot.
Huh. Yeah. And then the last one, Bruce Springsteen insures his vocal cords. And I'm sure a lot of singers do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just in case he got laryngitis. Rod Stewart, he also insured his throat. So I guess it gets really specific about what you can insure. And then Bob Dylan insured his vocal cords.
How much do they insure him for? Does it say?
$6 million.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Bruce Springsteen.
Yep, in the 80s, he insured his famous gravelly voice for $6 million.
For $6 million. Huh.
What would you insure of your own?
I don't know.
Like,
I mean, I really don't have any talents. I'm trying to think. I mean, I have hobbies, but none of those are worth insuring. So,
I don't know. I don't think I have anything.
What would you insure?
Not all my TJ Maxx and Ross.
I know, right? That's, I mean, I don't know. You know, like I did read in doing all this, J-Lo, because of who she is and what she's known for, she insured her mom. For like over $1 million.
Yeah, I could see like Kim Kardashian.
Yeah,
too.
Because that's what they're known for.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't really have anything that's worth doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm short, and that's it. I don't have anything else. I mean, there's a bunch. If you go into the rabbit hole on these, there are so many crazy claims out there from bat. What do you call it? I don't want to say poop. It's bat guana or something is the name of it. But yeah, there's a story about these people who bought a home and bats had been living in their house for like 10 years before they bought it. They had no idea. And so, yeah, there was a lot of damage. Once they moved in, they started to see and come to find out bats had been living in their house. And the insurance carrier didn't want to pay at first, but because it was a total gut, the insurance company kicked in and said, we'll pay to have the house redone. Yeah. But there's so many, like, from people who file fraudulent claims, just wild stuff. There's a lot. There's just a lot of crazy claims out there.
Yeah. Have you ever had a crazy claim?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think I have. And actually, when I first started in insurance, my dad put me, well, first of all, I was like at the front so I could meet all the customers that he had, but he started me in claims. That's the very first job he wanted me to do was claims, because he was like, you'll learn coverages faster if you're actually taking the information and processing the claims. So FYI, for anybody out there wanting to maybe get started in insurance, claims is a really good place to start because you have to learn the coverages. So just, something to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I always like thank God for renter's insurance, living in
Austin,
like having had it all these years.
Yeah.
Because it's, I mean, anything can happen and it's crazy. And like, you know, one of my friends, like her apartment was starting to flood because the one next door to her was flooding. Whoever left had like left their same God. A crazy one that has to do with mold was two of my friends from college, Tori and Bella. Their apartment, they had like humidifiers. This was in West Campus by UT. Basically, maintenance came in when they left for Christmas break and like turned their humidifier off, and so they came back and all their stuff was molded.
Oh no!
And I remember talking to them being like, y'all have renter's insurance, right? This is crazy. And then the building not wanting to take responsibility because like their employee came and like turned the humidifier off, and like it was a whole thing. So they like,
why was their place so moist?
I don't know. Honestly, that's really weird.
It is. It's very strange.
I have no idea
why they had like that.
Why the unit had to have a humidifier. I don't know. But crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
That's probably the only one I've secondhand experienced.
Yeah,
I didn't.
Yeah.
But Yeah, so that is this week's episode.
Okay.
Hope you got a laugh. I mean, some of these are not I mean, the Starbucks guy, like getting hurt,
Yeah.
obviously nobody
Yeah.
wants that to happen. But next episode we're going to have our first guest on the pod.
Yep.
So we're excited for that. Look
We
forward
are.
to that. But yeah, hope you all have a great week.
Yeah. Great week. We'll see you soon.
Bye.